Kwankwaso, Galadinma, others have been expelled from Nnpp, faction says. Aha! So it's not only Labour Party that has faction now. Nnpp in Kano State, they have developed their own faction as well. And now they're saying Kwankwaso, Galadinma, and others have been expelled from the party. I know that for a very long time, Kwankwaso have been, reminded of anti-party activities, and at the time they wanted to see him to court. But again, let's see exactly what is transpiring in this matter. So let's dive into the details. Okay. So a faction of the new Nigerian People's Party (Nnpp) has insisted that the party's 2023 presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso remains expelled from the party. The faction added that Buba Galadinma, as well as the entire membership of the old National Working Committee of the party, led by Alhaji Abba Kawu, has been expelled. So the position of the faction was contained in a statement on Saturday by the chairman of the board of trustees of the party, Dr. Temitope Aluko. So he further called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to stop dealing with the affected persons, update its records, and recognize the expulsion of the affected persons. Once again, may we use this public space to remind the INEC through its chairman that we have requested the urgent need to update their records of the National Executive Committee of the Nnpp. So it is instructive to indicate herein that the constitution of the Nnpp is supreme and binding on all members without prejudice to the overarching Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Electoral Act. So with the nation's constitution being the unquestionable ground norm, every other establishment in Nigeria derives its powers of establishment and operations from the said constitution, Aluko said. So he added that INEC does not have the power to meddle in the internal affairs of a party. As such, powers are not constitutionally granted to the electoral body. However, INEC does not have powers to meddle in the internal administration and management of political parties. Otherwise, it will be equivalent to an avoidable breach of the constitutional rights of Nigerians to associate freely. So, what we try to put across herein is simple and unambiguous. The extant powers of the board members of the Nnpp about resolution of the party's internal matters are very clear. The board has powers to call to order any member who acts contrary to its norms, he said. The BOT chairman submitted that the unceremonious exit of the party's former national chairman, Professor Rufai Akali, Professor Angwe Samuel, and Senator Suleiman Hunkuyi, among others, were pointers that all was not well with the internal administration of the party. So he accused the former Nnpp National Working Committee members of corruption, high-handedness, lack of transparency, and accountability. All these avoidable acts of gross misconduct led to the invitation of the concerned persons by the Board of Trustees for explanation, but they refused to provide answers to the queries. Oh boy. So indeed, the board had to invoke its inherent powers by calling them all to order and decisively expelling them. So the act of the board, having subsequently been notified by the General Assembly of the party, has been communicated to the chairman of the INEC, and the commission duly acknowledged the same and pledged to update his record. The surprising and very embarrassing thing today is that INEC is still dealing with the expelled members of the party. This is aside from the fact that this matter is pending before a federal high court, with INEC duly served and notified, Aluko said. Wow. So a faction of the new faction of Nnpp in Kano has now expelled Kwankwaso, Buba Galadinma, and some others, especially the members of the old National Working Committee, and have directed INEC to stop dealing with the old National Working Committee as the new committee is in place now and taking charge. Oh boy. So this is what is his name? What is happening in Nnpp in Kano as we speak? Okay, it's a serious matter. Let's see a few comments. Somebody said, Kwankwaso and Buba Galadinma are now members of Mega Party and no longer members of Nnpp. Have you? Because PDP, Labour Party, and Nnpp are discussing how they can come together to form a Mega Party under Pat Otomi's coordination, and they call it, what do they call that particular Revolutionary Party? So now Kwankwaso and Buba Galadinma from Nnpp are no longer member of Nnpp, but now member of the mega party called Revolutionary Party, where this is just on the side of sarcasm. Okay, somebody saying Kwankwaso has achieved his aim by having Kano State governor. Your party is not that strong to this internal rancor. Okay, for this internal rancor, the party is, I'm telling you, the internal rancor what they call it, Nnpp, is so much anyway. But again, which political party in Nigeria does not have internal rancor? There will always be disgruntled elements. The way you manage those elements for the party to continue to wax strong going forward is a key issue. It's a key skill that anybody running the party should acquire. Now, someone is saying that Kwankwaso has achieved his aim, Abi, for having produced the governor of the state. So his plan is achieved. What else does he want to gain? The party will just die natural death without Kwankwaso. How? Okay, because what I see in Kano actually is that most of the party loyalists are also Kwankwaso's loyalists, and that is why he's feeling that he's a fourth to beat. But is it true that he's a fourth to beat? If he is, then he should have won the presidency. Okay, so now that Kwankwaso and all these people have expelled, the question now is that which of them is the Nigerian judiciary going to recognize? Is it the real Nnpp or the factional Nnpp? Nnpp, what is guiding their decision and why are they taking such actions? Okay, I'm sure it's because of the anti-party activities of Kwankwaso, Galadinma, and the rest people. Those guys are just in Nnpp, but are looking for a way to get involved with APC and to get a juicy position. So that is what is happening. A factional group of a factional party of the Nnpp has expelled Buba Galadinma, Kwankwaso, and members of the old National Working Committee, and has advised INEC not to recognize them anymore or work with them. Rather, they should work with the new factional leadership. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.